talking all things life, self-improvement and chronic illness. Former M.E CFS sufferer Toby Morrison is here to help you with your own recovery or health transformation journey. This is the CFS Podcast, where CFS stands for Choice, Future and Success.
Good evening, good morning or good afternoon. It's Toby Morrison from, it sounds like USA, but it's actually Australia, here in Melbourne. And today is going to be about filling the void that is lacking in your life. And this is a really interesting topic that I've come to understand lately through my own personal journey of life, but more so in what I'm seeing through study and also human behaviour. So if we are actually conscious and aware, what tends to happen in life is that us humans, animals on Earth, we tend to fill the void that is lacking or missing in our life. Now, you might be nodding your head at home and going, "Oh, yeah, that's true," or you might say, "No, that's not true." But just hear me out. So, a lot of the time when we're growing up, in life and things are lacking, so a great example for some people is that they lack extreme poverty. They are in extreme poverty, and their parents didn't have a lot of money, and they worked. They did it really hard, and they didn't eat much, and there wasn't much food on the table, and those kids who grew up that way usually have a void to fill where they want to have the big house and work really hard and become financially independent and successful. And another example is, the person who gets bullied. Usually the person who gets bullied eventually, fills the void by making themselves more masculine and making sure that they don't get bullied again later on in life. Hopefully. Otherwise, what happens is they stay in that victim mentality and they get hurt even more than they originally did. It's just really fascinating to me to see, it's just like the overweight person, if they're conscious about it, they usually want to be slimmer, or the skinny person wants to be bigger. It keeps going and going and going, and it's like, the beautiful thing about this whole scenario is that it's a constant change of forwards and backwards, up and down, yin and yang. So, there's going to be times in life where you want to go, and then you've gone, and now you want to fill the void that is not going, that's staying still and staying calm and quiet. It's a bit like winter and summer. Summer, you're more alive, you're more energetic. Winter, you want to hibernate, you want to stay indoors. So today is really interesting, and I'm going to ask you the question is, what is the void that is missing in your life right now? I know for me, it's about being more quiet, being calmer, taking more time out for myself, which I find I'm not great at, especially when for the past 10 years I've done a lot of stuff in my life where it's been completely extroverted and constantly pushing and doing great things and achieving and helping as many people as possible. And now I'm starting to go, maybe what I need to do is fill the void that is lacking, which is sitting still, being quiet, being calm, being relaxed, maybe not being the center of attention among my friends, maybe listening instead of talking, even though I'm doing this podcast right now. But, I'm finding that when I'm hanging out with my friends and stuff, I'm more interested in them rather than interested in talking about me. And that's a big swing around to what it used to be, 5 years ago. And, I'm sure my friends would probably agree. A lot of my friends have been saying lately, "Geez, you seem so much more interested. You're so much calmer and relaxed." And whilst it feels weird for me, it doesn't feel right that I'm doing that. I'm letting go of the attachment of being that certain person, which is another thing that we need to be conscious of, is to realize that we're not just good. We're not just bad. It's important to realize that we're all, we're whole, we're everything. When we, it's just like being positive all the time. If we're constantly positive all the time, well, there's a big lack of, negativity, and we're scared of negativity. What happens is, if we're positive all the time, eventually the void of becoming negative will happen, because it's a universal law. It's like you can't run away from it forever. It's the same thing with people who get burnt out. They push. Their body, their mind is telling them to, hey, slow down. Otherwise illness will arise from the situation, and sickness and stress. So it's a fascinating subject to talk about. The question I will ask you today and invite you to potentially look into is ask yourself, what is the void that is lacking in your life that you need to fill? For me, my three are definitely my family, being busy and kind of starting my passion a long time ago on purpose. I neglected that side of my life, and now that I neglected it, look what the void I'm feeling is coming back and connecting with my family. Same with friends. Also, just me time, which is something that I'm not used to, which I'm just starting to do right now, which feels absolutely foreign but good. Taking more care of myself, not just physically but emotionally too. So, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on what you're feeling at the moment. Now, what I'm feeling now wasn't what I was feeling 10 years ago. What I was feeling 10 years ago was, get as much out of my body as possible, get as much out of my being as possible, do as much physically as I can, develop as much stuff, as I can to help more people produce, do. So it's quite funny that my life is kind of what appears to be turning upside down, because that's what it feels like when you attach yourself to, pushing and grinding and extroverting or extracting all the time from your life. But it's not turning upside down. It's literally just filling the void that has been lacking. And it makes it kind of easier to swallow, and life simpler when you actually just accept that, this is the void, this is the path I need to take now, with no attachment, with no end goal. You just do it. You just follow it, and you just listen to it intuitively. You follow your heart, you follow your gut, and you do what's right for you. So again, I hope that helps. I hope that sparks a little bit of attention into your life. We all need it, especially in this 21st century where it's gone a little bit cray-cray. Comment your thoughts below. Share this podcast if you like. It's always fun and interesting to share and connect with other human beings who are on a similar path and a similar journey to becoming a more evolved human being. All the best. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. It's Toby Morrison from pretending to be from USA, but actually from Australia. Speak to you soon. Bye.